Kaidi is a really consistent player. She has solid distance. She throws really controlled shots, and I think that will do her really well at the Beast. Potentially some nerves. I think this course can be really intimidating if you're not feeling confident, if you have the nerves up.
Kristin's coming back from an injury. Second event back, shot the second hottest round of her career ever and the hottest round of a major. She followed it up today in round 3 with the lowest round of her career. We know that Kristin wants to win more than anyone in the world, especially defending her European title from last year. I'm excited to see her flip the switch from what she did today, and I think we're going to see her put together a really impressive round tomorrow.
Silva has really impressed me with her grit and nerve playing on big stages. She won 5 in a row earlier this year, and out here at the Beast, she can really excel with giving herself opportunities. I think that was something that Silva struggled with at the Monster, was not quite giving herself putts and letting her advantage play out.
Eveliina is going to be able to come out and maybe erase some of her nerves by feeling really comfortable and feeling at home. She won Champions Cup. She got second place at US Women, so she's performing really well on big stages. I think Eveliina is poised to take the win tomorrow.
Eveliina and Silva have done battle at quite a few tournaments, and we're excited to see a finish tomorrow.
Hello and welcome to the final round of the 2024 European Open, the third major of the year, presented by Discmania. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Ella Hansen, and we are here for the last round at
Wow, wow, wow.
Two doggies.
Two dogs here bringing you the latest, the hottest, the FPO final round. We are excited to watch 3 of the players we've gotten to watch the last 2 days, and one new player, Eveliina Salonen. First up, you guys have heard of her through round 3, 65% fairway hits, 44% of the time finding circle 2 in regulation, and 60% of her circle 1X putts dropping.
Silva Saarinen, 75% fairway hits, 50% C2 in regulation, and 100% circle 1X putting in round 3. She is a killer in the circle. We'll see if that can continue.
Kristin Tattar in round 3, 50% fairway hits, 22% circle 2 in regulation. Low for her. She had a rough day yesterday, shooting 8 over, a 906 rated round. Maybe we'll see her bounce back today.
And our new addition to this card, Kaidi Allsalu, fairway hits 85%, 50% C2 in regulation, and 83% C1X putting in round 3. Starting it off on hole 1, it's a par 3, 98 meters, 322 feet. Got it go through the truss and glide on down towards the basket. This is a blind green. One of the fun parts about this event is there's a big screen up at the tee, and you can watch your shot finish on that screen because you can't really see it from the tee. Elevated basket, sloped green to start, requires a lot of precision.
2024 presented by Discmania. It's time to start the Championship Sunday FPO lead card action at 9 a.m. here on the Nokia the Beast. First on the tee, currently leading the tournament at 9 under par. Your 5-time Finnish national champion, sponsored by Innova, Eveliina Salonen!
We talked earlier about how Eveliina is very much poised to take this win. She's been looking really comfortable on a big stage all year. She's throwing the disc so well. Her putts are looking great. It's hard to imagine that she's maybe feeling a little bit of nerves, though.
Maybe a little bit. That local tournament, she definitely knows this course like the back of her hand, but could be nervous.
Sponsored by MVP Disc Sports from Finland, Silva, Saarinen.
Excited to watch Silva attack the beast again. She played so well yesterday, strung together a ton of birdies.
Looks really good. Just settling down nicely. Wow, great start for Silva.
Next on the tee, currently at 2 under par. Your two-time world champion, sponsored by Latitude 64 from Estonia, Kristin Tattar.
So even though Kristin had probably one of the worst rounds of her recent career yesterday, we all know how hot she can shoot, and I'm sure she knows that as well.
Next on the tee, currently at even par. Your two-time Estonian national champion, sponsored by Prodigy, Kaidi, Allsalu.
Kaidi on her first final round, I think first major lead card ever for the final round here at European Open. I can imagine she's got some nerves as well.
Yeah. This is definitely still part of a learning experience, but thankfully she is so talented. Really great at throwing the disc. She's got a couple of podium or top 5 finishes at Elite Series events this year, so maybe she has a little bit of a practice on a bigger stage.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting kind of going onto a major lead card from maybe winning some more local tournaments, you know, and Estonian Nationals, obviously not just a local tournament, but you certainly can feel the difference on the major stage.
Especially here at the Beast, the gallery is immense and very loud. It's one of the loudest galleries in the sport. It's so cool. You can hear them from all over the course.
Yeah, you can just see just some of the gallery there. Great start for Silva.
Even though this is the easiest hole of the day, there was only 6 birdies on hole 1. It's nice to have a cut day because I feel like if you're, you know, around the cut line or in the middle of the pack, you can play kind of free. You made the cut, you don't have to worry about that anymore. But if you're on this lead card, you are thinking about other things.
Yeah, you certainly are. And at European Open, they do kind of an interesting thing where the cut line is below the cash line. So
oh yeah,
you're not just fighting. You're not just comfortably like, oh, I'll make some money. If you're right around that cash line, you are playing some golf for sure. Silva grabbing a birdie, moving 1 stroke closer to Eveliina.
Hole 2, it's 322 feet, another gettable birdie by everyone in the field, but it is a high-risk shot with that out-of-bounds line that pinches all the way down the left-hand side, especially right in circle 2 at the green. A big forehand, I think, is the safest play, but not everyone has that distance, so a backhand turnover can work as well with a mid-range or a fairway driver or even a distance driver. Just make sure you don't cut roll because you can find that OB line very quickly.
That looks a little inside for Silva, but that's way down there, just outside the bullseye. Not quite sure that was exactly the line she was going for, but she will absolutely take it. Eveliina going with the more open forehand and just a little bit inside. That also looks a little inside, but it's lower. And getting just about to the edge of the circle for Kristin.
Kaidi, a little bit too much angle on this, but it's panning out and just enough height to not cut roll out of bounds.
Eveliina looking like that was kind of a run at least. I feel like she's like more confident running it from circle 2 and outward than like the 6 to 10 meter range sometimes.
Absolutely.
And her Evelina's putt style is so
Heiser.
yeah, it just kind of falls out of the sky when it starts to slow down. Good commitment from Kristin, getting a little band.
Silva with a 2-for-2 start, looking very solid. There was, again, only 6 birdies on this hole. It was the 3rd easiest hole of the day. Kind of surprised. Oh, I forget we have way less competitors now.
That makes 16 people
yeah.
playing,
Okay, so it's pretty good.
6 pretty solid.
So 40% of the field got that one.
Real confident start for Silva. 2 birdies quickly, just 2 strokes ahead of the entire card. It's got to feel good for building her confidence going into this final round. Moving to hole 3, par 5, 787 feet, 240 meters. You have to either clear this strip of out of bounds or lay up your first shot, and the rest of the fairway is also very technical, out of bounds left and right, and then having to deal with this low ceiling and this ridge situation up at the basket, which is on a hill and elevated, and there's out of bounds behind it. So
I love the ridge situation. It is definitely a situation. You are thinking about it on your approach. You're thinking about it on your putt.
oh, I don't think that has enough turn.
Ooh, I don't even know if that crossed the corner.
I think it might have.
We'll see. This is a hole where the spotter is a marshal, so their call is what stands regardless of what the card thinks, unless it is a full majority. Eveliina coming in hot, also going to be out of bounds, but at least crossing.
And Kristin going for it again. She laid up both rounds of President's Cup and went for it unsuccessfully yesterday, but this looks beautiful.
Yeah, carrying by a long shot. A lot of players just barely making it over that second out of bounds line.
Kaidi playing the layup play. Do you ever find it intimidating, Mad, when like the other 3 people on your card do something that was not part of your game plan?
Absolutely not. As someone who throws a consistent 320, I'm pretty used to that right now, actually. It's like every day
Yeah.
that I play disc golf.
That's a great second shot. Kind of the same shape as what you might throw off the tee, but just really trusting that distance and throwing it over a safe area.
One thing that's definitely holds true, especially at the Beast, is aggressive play. While it can get a bunch of birdies, it also is highly risky. So sticking to your game plan and laying up like we saw Kaidi do is actually great, because walking away with a par on this hole is absolutely fine, especially if you stack up a lot of pars. Even par at this course is a great score.
Kristin getting way down there on her second shot. That's going to be a super simple approach, maybe even just a jump putt for her birdie. And honestly, Eveliina has a chance to save a birdie from this spot, and getting all the way up into circle 2. I'm going to doubt that she's going to run that, but she still threw a great shot and will be looking to save a par.
Yeah, I like Eveliina's game plan of, regardless of whether she stays in bounds or not, that she's just ripping the disc and going out of bounds as far down the fairway as possible.
Absolutely.
That is a super advantage. Here's the technical part of the fairway that Ella was talking about earlier. Silva attempting to navigate, getting a little bit tangled up in some tree branches. I think she runs this putt.
Yeah, I kind of do.
I kind of do too. no. It's so close behind the basket.
I think she runs it. I feel like
She's thinking.
Yeah. Oh, she's gonna lay it up. Lame. Just kidding.
That's really smart.
Really smart.
Good job, Silva. Even though she is conceding a bogey.
This hole can be absolutely brutal. And yeah, like you said, par is okay on this hole.
There were again 6 birdies on hole 3.
Oh, 666. I guess I shouldn't say that. But so sorry I cursed this broadcast.
There were a lot more bogeys, double bogeys, and even a triple bogey on this hole, though, making this more in the middle of the pack on difficulty. 7 people got to circle 1 in regulation. 2 more than that got to circle 2. So about half the field at least putting for birdie.
Silva ends up taking a bogey. Kristin with a birdie.
It's so difficult to recover a par after going out of bounds on the short side.
Yeah, it sure is. Katie Tate shooting a hot round so far, getting to 2 under par through 4 holes.
Hole 4, the first par 4 of the round and the first of our wooded loop at the Beast. At 617 feet, you want to avoid that fairway tree we just buzzed by with the drone. I like a forehand, a backhand straight shot or turnover works as well. You just want to make sure you don't finish left because any kind of hyzer angle will skip down the hill and any sort of cut angle can potentially roll very far down the hill. Your second shot, you do have a chance of getting all the way up to the green. A lot of short putts from the shul in circle 2 is very common.
Kristin using a lot of height on this.
I don't think that was on purpose.
Surprised. Yeah, I feel like she threw it a little high yesterday, but I think both of those may have just been misses.
Yeah, that was a very nose up angle, which is not necessarily the play on this hole. This is a lot more what is called for.
Eveliina catching that late tree, like maybe just short of where you really can attack the green for 3.
Oh, I love this. It's so good.
Great turn, flexing out to match the angle of the hillside. That is absolutely perfect. And I see a lot of people throw kind of a flip up turnover backhand on this shot, but it's really important to throw something that you know is going to have some hyzer, but still match the angle of the hill, just like Silva as well. Getting past Kaidi, that you could not throw a backhand better than that on this hole.
Yep. Eveliina with a gap, thankfully, opting for probably a flex sidearm. It comes out a little early, a little hyzer, and she's in that shul on the short side of the green and rolling.
I think that's going to check up. I think she didn't really like that release a little bit inside.
This left side is very brutal. Those trees are good at making a wall. Kristin opting for a flex sidearm around.
Yo.
Wow.
Yo.
Wow.
That is so nasty.
The fact that it's right outside the bullseye as well, not just inside the circle.
You can see from this angle how much turn she has to put on to get around that grove of trees.
And it has to be timed perfectly to fade around those last corner trees.
That is not as easy as she made it look.
It's also severely uphill. I can continue all the ways that shot was so impressive.
Really impressive.
Kaidi showing us her forehand.
That looks great as well. Wow. This is some good golf. Getting into the circle on this hole for birdie is really, really difficult.
Only 5 people even got to circle 2.
Far Silva is.
That drive was, yeah, she's in the landing zone for a lot of people's second shots.
I've practiced this course a lot of times and played it 2 years, and I don't know that I've gotten into the circle more than 3 times. We just saw 3 in 1 card.
Yep, 5 people out of 16 got to circle 2. Only 4 got to circle 1. We're watching 3 just here on our card.
And not just to circle one, but like
Bullseye-ish.
bullseye. 2 in the bullseye, 1 maybe just a step out. That is some really impressive golf here on the first wooded hole of the beast. Silva just tapping that in like
It's the worst thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. Like, girl, that was sick.
And we watched the only 3 birdies of the day on our lead card.
Wow.
They got here for a reason.
They sure did. Eveliina just starting it off with a bunch of pars. Silva 1 stroke back, and Kristin making up a little bit of ground there. 2 under on the round, going into hole 5, par 3, 355, 102 meters. Another sloping right to left fairway and green situation. This is a pretty straight shot. You can throw a straight mid-range fairway or putter off the tee, backhand. You can throw a little bit more of a flex forehand. That's kind of nice because it works up into the hillside, but also risks a little bit more of a roll away potential.
I love the forehand here. Kristin does a great job of keeping it nice and low today. Coming in on the high side of the screen, it usually gets a nice little roll back. She'll have an obstructed putt from right around the edge of circle 1.
And this green does drop off quite a bit.
On the backside and the left side.
Yeah, Kristin's going to be in a decision-making point there with that putt.
Kaidi coming up on the high side. She'll have a little bit of a nervy putt there, but she's pretty close.
Silva getting around that tree. There is... Oh, getting a little kick, but I think she's up into circle 1. It looks pretty thick on the right, but I feel like you can actually get through a little bit more than you might think if you turn over your backhand a little bit.
I like how Silva's discs are flipping so late. Eveliina not quite getting the flip that she wants here. A little too much hyzer on the release. She's going to have to scramble up to the green.
I think that was a pretty lucky kick for Eve, because if you get too far down the hillside, it can be pretty hard to get up and down. Looks like Kristin's going for it.
I feel like when she's in this wide straddle, she makes it always.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, and that is the danger. Rolling down to just outside circle 1.
A nice safe putt to run on the way back.
Yeah.
Silva just inside the circle. Oh, surprising.
I feel like with Silva, it's either in the heart or it's not touching any chains, not catching any metal.
Kristin doesn't look like she even has a comeback putt opportunity. Trying to push through the fir trees is never a great idea.
I feel like Silva's reaction to knowing she has to straddle this putt is...
annoyance.
Yes. But
wow.
Cash anyway. I think a lot of players who maybe are really settled in their stance struggle when you have to go to straddle, especially with so much hill there. But Silva getting a lot of good leg power and giving it enough height to get up over the cage.
A nice birdie from Kaidi, one of only 3 on the day today. Hannah Blumroos and Heidi Laine also getting birdies. Kind of surprised to only see 3 out of our top 16 competitors. There was 10 people putting from circle 2, and like the ones we saw on our lead card, that's just a tough putt.
It is a tough putt.
Scary putt.
Our leaderboard pretty much sticking with what it's been going into this round.
And we move on to a long par 3. It's 328 feet on paper, but in real life it plays more like 375, 380, and through a very narrow gap all the way down the fairway. There's no way to really cheat a flex angle, even if you would really like to. If you do try to, you end up usually on the left or right side of the gap with no look at a putt, just a weird scrambly shot up to the green. This one's a tough birdie and most of the time requires a long putt, but we have seen some circle one lands as well.
That gets a really nice kick. It's so tough because Kaidi's shot looked like 1 degree from perfect and you can get really punished. Oh, and that is the reason why I don't throw backhand on this ball. I have also done that.
Yeah, if I throw a backhand, but I am hyzer flipping it up the right side, hugging those other trees, which isn't much better. Eveliina does a great job of kind of flipping one into the center of the gap. Oh, fine little reaction.
Yeah, doesn't quite change what her putt might be.
I kind of eyed up that hyzer gap on the right.
Yeah,
it's there.
It is there. I eyed it up last year. Kristin did that yesterday, and she does it again today.
We're both shaking our heads in the booth because it's so incredible that she did that 2 days in a row.
Early release from Silva.
Silva looking a little rushed there. Not her normal smooth standstill shot that we see. Not sure if she can see the basket from there, but she throws a great turnover shot into the green. She's going to have to settle for a bogey at best here.
Yeah, that's a great recovery shot, though. You got to get around quite a few trees.
Kaidi with a great drive, so close to perfection, still is left with a forehand chip shot up to the green.
Eveliina giving it. Oh, no, don't do that. Over there, too. That's just about the worst reaction you can have.
And this bush that's right in front of her is so difficult to get around. It's got a lot of spindly. You can see right here, it covers a lot of the height. You have to go low like Eveliina. This could be a 2-stroke swing here for Kristin.
Yep. Wow, Kristin, this is a really hard hole, and she has made it look unbelievably easy.
There were 4 birdies today. I'm so surprised to say that. The fact that more people birdied hole 6 than hole 5. Besides,
that's crazy.
Yeah, besides Kristin, Missy Gannon got it again. Ella Hansen here in the booth.
Hey, yo.
Hey, and Heidi Laine went back to back.
Oh.
And this is a moment when Eveliina's going to have to dig deep. This is where, regardless of whether you've had trouble on the putting green in your career or not, it is really, really tough to not lose your confidence on the green after those 2.
Yeah, it is. And she needs to trust herself in order to finish out this tournament. So with that double bogey, Eveliina and Silva now tied for the lead. Kristin just 3 strokes back. It kind of seemed yesterday like she did not have a chance, and now she might.
She's right back in the mix.
Hole 7, par 4, 630, 192 meters. This is a really challenging par 4. You kind of want to throw a backhand hyzer off the tee, and any approach shots have to be super, super cautious of this super steep drop-off cliff situation to the right of the basket, and it kind of extends up the fairway for 40 meters.
All the way basically to here.
Yeah.
Kristin kind of throwing over that cliff area. She hit the exact same tree yesterday.
Maybe that's what she's saying right there. Yeah, this tee shot, I feel like you really want to throw it with a lot more hyzer than it looks on off of the tee pad.
That was such a great shot from Kaidi.
Yeah, super well executed. Never letting that disc flip up, but still pushing straight.
Silva a little early again. Okay, good second kick.
And that's an area where you just kind of hope you have good footing. I ended up down there today, and they did a lot of trimming from last year. That needs to miss that tree. Wow. That is a perfect drive on this hole.
There is a path where all the spectators are on the left side of the fairway. None of that is out of bounds. There is a black staked spectator rope, but you're allowed to move it as a player if your disc lands in that area. But after the tee shot, you're really not going to be in that area. You can see Silva trying to turn that disc to the right. It's the general direction towards the basket.
Kristin's super awkward footing, just kind of trying to chuck a forehand out there, get as much distance as she can. I think she got far enough down that she should have a lane to the basket.
Look at this really aggressive standstill from Kaidi. I love this. It goes all the way to pin high. Oh, man, that is such great distance in 2 shots. Really, that was an unbelievable second shot, but just a little bit too right.
Honestly, I don't hate that super aggressive play, though. She's down the hill. I guess you can kind of roll way down there in a place where it's hard to get up and down, but she might have a straightforward up and down from bottom of that cliff.
For par, yep. Silva's third in circle 2 land. She's going to have to make a decision of whether she wants to run this putt. I would not be surprised if she lays it up. This is a crazy one to run. This is also a very scary approach, coming in hyzer on a sloped green. How does that check up? Unbelievable. That's just perfect speed control there from Kristin.
Absolutely perfect. Eveliina tossing it in. That's a scary putt from there. Maybe 7 or 8 meters, but staring straight at the cliff.
Hyzering towards it. Kaidi from way down at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Just a pitch up. She'll take a par. Honestly, par feels really good. It's like a half birdie on this hole.
This is the second most difficult hole of the day, so par is great.
Silva giving that a run.
Soft bid.
From that side, it's a little bit less scary because you're kind of going parallel with the hillside, and so for righty putters, you're gonna take to the left. Okay, Eveliina.
Okay, that's such a great bounce back from the last hole.
Yeah, really good getting that confidence back with the putting stroke.
That's a putt that would make anyone nervous.
For real.
There was one birdie today. Only one person getting to circle 1 and one person getting to circle 2. Eveliina. She's on a heater, folks.
Hey, that's fire. That's a really hard birdie.
We're going to do a chase card check-in with Missy Gannon on the hole we will be playing next. Hole 8. It's 236 feet uphill.
Perfect. That's just about the best you can throw it there, and feels really good, I'm sure, to have just the tap in on hole 8. You don't have to worry about making a decision.
That is a crush from Missy.
Yeah.
Let's watch her play hole 9 as well. She birdied this one yesterday.
Oh, catching a tree. Come back in.
Oh my.
Little backboard. Missy backboard action. Okay.
Still having the distance to get there after that hard of a tree kick is wild. Great job capitalizing on that birdie.
Missy told me that she had a putt for birdie on every single hole in the front 9, and she was like, I could be shredding right now if I made all these putts, but still a great front 9 for Missy. And we can see she's got the fire emoji. She is moving up the leaderboard, as well as Eveliina.
We just watched Missy play this hole 8, 236 feet or 72 meters uphill. Plays closer to like 300 feet, maybe 320 with how steep the hole is. To get over the top of these hay bales, I think you need about that 320 mark. If you land pin high and to the right of the hay bales, it's fine as well, but just a putt that you want to consider laying up or doing a soft bid, as there is a steep hill on the back side of that green that can roll you really, really far. I can't even tell you how far. It can roll you farther than the tee pad is away.
You actually legitimately could roll back past the tee pad from a putt on this hole.
You could roll to where Kaidi was with the boats on the last approach shot.
Down to the boats.
Really nice height from Kaidi, making it over the hay bales and onto the green.
Looks like Evelina's throwing a driver here, which kind of surprises me.
Wants to make sure. I like kind of the play onto the deep side, but there's the hill on the other side as well.
Everything is a hill on this hole.
The whole thing's a hill. Main thing you want to do is not come in early left. That's where it can be really tough. No putting at all. You're forced to just lay up.
That looks great for Silva. Looking at a 7-meter putt.
Eveliina, a little bit of a grip lock, but it lays down even with all those roots. She's going to have some work to do on the way back to save par.
Nice committed putt from Kristin.
3 down on the round so far, starting off completely different than yesterday. All right, Eveliina, show us what you're made of. There were 8 birdies on hole 8 today. Half the field got this one. Kaidi looking super solid. Bogey-free, 3 down so far on the front 9.
Yeah, really impressed with that. You know, like we talked about, first major lead card.
Looking calm, collected, confident.
Throwing great shots. It's awesome to see. Kristin getting another stroke on our leader, Eveliina Salonen. Just a 2-stroke lead for Eveliina and Silva now. Creating a 3-player battle we've got here. Moving to hole 9. Par 3, 338, 103 meters. There's out of bounds left and long and on this little parking lot up top, but it's going to be a forehand hyzer if you're going the route this drone is flying. There is also kind of more of a backhand flex or straight shot down the right side of the fairway, but it's a little bit more risky. You're bringing more trees into play on that gap.
This forehand is a really nice big gap, but you do have to have quite a bit of distance because it's mostly just a hyzer the whole way. 340 feet of hyzer forehand is not something that everyone in the field is capable of. Kristin flexing on us. Kaidi with the inside route.
That looks, oh man, that was looking really good. Just a little bit left. Catches the last tree. That's looking high for Silva, but if it gets through, could be putting.
Oh yeah, pin high.
Yeah, no problems with that.
I really love this hole.
I do too.
It's a great disc golf hole. I love how there's so many options.
Danger, but it feels like safe danger. Not safe, but fair danger. Oh, sit down. I feel like Eveliina just like blew up that tree.
She sure did. Bark went everywhere. Birch bark fireworks. Eveliina's so close to putting together a good round. Not throwing bad shots necessarily, just not quite getting inside the circle. Hole 9 played in the top 3 easiest holes of the day, with 44% of the field getting it, 7 birdies out of 16 competitors.
Nice putt from Kristin, just on the edge of the circle. Finishing off her front 9, 4 under par.
Silva managing to stay under par, even with 3 bogeys on the front. A few more errors than we saw from her yesterday. She played really solidly on the back 9 as well.
And a whole different story from Evelina's scorecard, but she is still right in the mix. Plenty of time to turn it around on the back 9.
Kaidi has to be stoked with her front 9 so far. 3 down, bogey free. Not a major. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's got to be floating. Silva still holding on to the lead by 1 stroke after that front 9. Eveliina just behind that. Kristin really changing up her game plan from yesterday, or maybe just the ending of her shots, and really cleaning up her round so far. The leaderboard's looking about the same for the top 5 right now. A lot can happen in the back 9 though, so please come hang with us on the final round of the European Open presented by Discmania. We've got 9 more holes and some sunshine even peeks out. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Hansen, and we'll see you on the back 9.